Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. Hey, in that last video, I know the sound was a little off. There was an echo that I didn't hear when I was recording it, that the mic for some reason picked up, and there was also something clicking I noticed. Maybe you guys didn't notice it, but I noticed it later after I was reviewing the video. I didn't feel like redoing it, so you get to live with it. I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm back with another video about doctrine. And again, these videos, guys, aren't meant to be deep, in-depth look at these different doctrines. And I'm especially thankful for that because today's doctrine would be a very long video, but it won't be, I hope. There's not supposed to be in-depth looks at these doctrines, but rather just short overviews to help you start thinking through, okay, what is it exactly that I believe? What is it that I believe about the Bible and what it teaches? So these videos are meant to just help you start thinking through, okay, what is it I believe? And so today's video, guys, is going to be on eschatology, the doctrine of the future, the doctrine of end times. Now, this is something that a lot of people are very interested in because it's very unknown. There's a lot of wiggle room in what you can believe concerning the future or the end of time or the end of the world, etc., etc. That's what eschatology is, the doctrine of the end. It includes things like the rapture, the millennial kingdom, the tribulation, the final judgment, and people's eternal fate. And it's kind of a very big and broad category, especially compared to some of the other doctrines we've looked at. There's a lot that falls into eschatology. When we talk about eschatology, a lot of people think of the book of Revelation, which has quite a bit that talks about what's going to happen when Jesus returns. So that's kind of eschatology in a nutshell and kind of the things that it includes. Why is it important? Well, it kind of helps shape your worldview as far as the way things are currently. If you think that, certain things are going to happen before Jesus returns, when you see things going on in the news or whatever, you're going to say, oh, that's another sign that the time is near, that Jesus is going to return soon. Whereas if you don't believe that way, you're going to say, oh, it's just the world's bad and messed up and that's just the way it is. So eschatology, the doctrine of the future, kind of affects how you view the world and the things that are going on. Beyond that, eschatology, there's a lot of unknowns in, and it's, I don't want to say a lesser doctrine, just there's a lot more room for debate, and therefore I don't think it's one you need to spend an overly amount of time on. I think there are other doctrines that are more important to understand. So, now there are some within eschatology that are important to understand, like eternal fate, what happens to us after we die. But as a whole, there's a lot of unknowns. So anyway, all that to say, that's eschatology in a nutshell. I want to leave you guys, like I usually do, with a couple questions to help you start thinking through, okay, what is it I believe about the future and the end of the world? So first, do I believe in a final judgment? As I kind of mentioned earlier, guys, there are two kind of topics within eschatology that I think are most important. One being the final judgment, the second being the eternal fate, your eternal fate, which I'll talk about in a second. But do I believe in a final judgment? I think that's a very crucial question as you look at the doctrine of the future and the end of time. You need to answer that question. Okay, do I believe that there's going to be a final judgment where God judges everyone or not? That's going to set the groundwork for the rest of your doctrine concerning the future. The second question I think you need to be asking is, what is my eternal fate? When I die, what is going to happen to me? That's just a big question in general, guys. But specifically when it comes to eschatology, that's a question you should have an answer to. And if you don't, I encourage you to find one. I am a resource if you know me personally, or if you're just watching this on YouTube because you happen to cross it. Talk to a pastor. I'm sure they would love to and be willing to help you understand, okay, what happens when we die? But what is my eternal fate, guys? I think is the second question you really need to be asking when it comes to the doctrine of the future. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope the sound was better in this video, and if not, I'll try to correct it for the next one. Anyway, take care guys. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.